You guys want like a quick Eddy guide? I think I want to do a quick Eddy guide just for the YouTube anyway. So like, Eddy's strange, right? He's definitely like a lottery character in a lot of ways, especially at lower levels of play. But he has like solid enough buttons, right? Like his jab, his down back 4, his down forward 1, his down back 2, his down 2. Right, he's got like his 1+2, like he's got very solid buttons, but then he just also has like lottery buttons and like ways to get into stance that make him so incredibly one-dimensional that there's no reason to play him any other way at low level, right? So I just want to share some of the tools. First of all, I want to say that I think Eddy Gordo is fun. A lot of people are upset that Eddy's changed so much since 7, and that a lot of the legacy feeling of Eddy's gone, which is something that's not so much the same with other characters. That is unfortunate. Like, maybe they could have just made a new character, like maybe like Eddy's son with this hair, instead of giving this 35-year-old man these yee ass millennial black man haircut. Anyways, I think Eddy's fun. I do think it's a shame that his character identity was kind of lost in the transition from 7 to 8, because they wanted to make him feel like a normal character with like a real sidestep and like not just backstep central. But I like the new stance. I like both the stances. I like Negativa and I like Handstand. Big fan. I don't know if it has a different name. And I like his little install thing. But the thing about the install is generally if you're getting it off like a combo, I'll show you guys a real standard Eddy combo before I get into like the buttons I used. If you do like a standard Eddy combo, you're more than likely gonna have them right next to the wall and or close to dead by the time you open them up with a combo, and like are able to take advantage of the fact that you have stocks. $70 damage, I have 1 stock, which means now I have access to 3+4 in handstand, which is a low, and then 4 in handstand, which is a mid, same animation, right? +4 on the low, +8 on the mid. Not bad moves, pretty good moves, actually. But the fact that you need at least 1 stock for them to be accessible means that while you're in handstand, Eddy actually doesn't have a low. He doesn't have a low. He has no low until you have that, right? He has a bunch of mids, he has an armor move, and he's got some like string, right? Like that's a string. But he doesn't have any lows in handstand until you get a stock, which is a little unfortunate, just a little. And that low is so powerful in that stance that it makes all of his mids fully unlocked and significantly more scary while you're in the stance. But those things only really come up after you've already finished a combo and pushed them towards the wall or have them close to dead. Because this isn't really a game where you're just gonna launch someone and immediately get a full combo. Like, you have to earn that as like a whip punish, or create like a counter hit or a plus frame situation in which you're allowed to use that. So I want to talk about some of the buttons that I used when I was playing Eddy. So, I don't think I have like a list like I did when I played Raven. When I was playing Raven, I had like a full list where I had like 4 or 5 lows, 4 or 5 mids, and like a high. First of all, I think everyone's high, one of the highs you should use is jab. This is always really good at stuffing people's offense. There's no reason not to use it. I can't really think of another really powerful high Eddy has. Yeah, because that's not a high. This is not a high. That's a mid. Very good mid. So I think this is really these two, I guess. This and then his like launcher that is a jumping attack that really only beats standing lows, like lows that keep you standing, like something like this, like a hatchet kick or like a Lily down 3. This high is very strong against moves like that. It's also very strong because it's 0 on block. So if you have the read and they don't press anything, you're fine. You're safe, right? If they block or if they backdash, more than likely you'll just catch them with this. You'll be 0. You'll have reset the situation. So the 2 highs that I recommend are up 1+2 and jab. Both of them safe. One is 0 on block. One is +1 on block, right? For the mids, I think the most prevalent mid as a whiff punish tool, I guess I could talk about plus frames first, right? So for plus frames on block, forward 3, for sure, right? +8 puts you into handstand. Good ass move, really, really solid. And another mid I recommend, like for plus frames specifically, handstand 1. Right, and we'll talk about how you get into handstand in safe ways in a bit, but I think handstand 1 is really strong mixed in with handstand 1+2 as a way to stop people from matching against you, because handstand 1+2 is an armor button. Another good move that's not necessarily plus but leads to mix-ups is sidestep 3. Sidestep 3 is 0 on block. It tech crouches, so you can use it in a lot of situations where people are going for like fast highs or jabs or even like electrics and stuff. Pretty good for that, and it puts you into hands. It puts you into negativa, or is that relax? I don't know what the fuck this shit's called. It puts you into the crouch stance, where you have access to a good few other moves that I'm sure you guys will find guides for, right? Like the mid, it's safe. This mid is not, but it heat engages. So this one is 1+2. This one is 4-3. Unsafe, but puts you into heat. And then 3-3, which gives him one of his stocks, and it's an unreactable low at 16 frames. You're not reactive. I was gonna say 18, 16, which is even more unreactable than I imagined. So unreactable low, safe mid that you can use to call people out trying to block the low. That's safe, and then the mid that's unsafe, but puts you into your heat. There's also a way to combo into that, and we'll talk on that. We'll touch on that here in a little bit. Lows that I really liked using. That was the main like mids, right? You could also say down 4-1. Down 4-1 is another good main mid, and so is back 1, because back 1-2 and back 1-3, pretty solid options to cover. And then I also kind of like standing. What is this called? Standing 4 and down back 4. I'm kind of a fan of those moves as well. But I don't use them as frequently as I do like combo enders, right? But they're pretty good. So for lows, you already saw one. I accidentally did it. Sidestep 4. I really like Sidestep 4. It's not too terribly fast, but it's a nice mix-up along with Sidestep 3, right? It's kind of hard to distinguish them when you're just looking at the sidestep as the animation and the fact that he crouches down. So the animation is like pretty good. Like they're both sidestep buttons that crouch, and one is safe on block, and the other one is -13, so slightly punishable. Not the worst thing in the world. You're in crouch for that, so you're not always in a bad position. I really like that move. Down 4. Down 4 is really good because on counter hit you can do down 4-3, and this will lead to on counter hit, if I could show you guys, a low throw attempt. Eddy actually has low throws in down 1+3 and down 2+4. Why did that not? Oh, I have opponent's counter set to counter hit. Natural combos on counter hit, and from that natural combo, boop, you can throw them, which is pretty cool. And if you do that's the 4+2 or 2+4. If you do the 1+3 instead, you actually get let me show you. You go into heat. This one's a heat engage throw. You get a little less damage, but you go into heat. You get 41 instead of 45. But no big deal. No big deal. I think that's pretty solid. One of my favorite lows for sure. I'm a big fan of down back 3, but I think everyone is, right? Pretty solid low. +5 on hit. +5 on hit. But it's, I think, -14 on block, so definitely unsafe. And same with this. I really like down forward 4. Down forward 4 is a standing low, so it's not like amazing or anything, but it's really good at catching people walking back. And it's also 0 on hit. So it makes people want to press a lot. When they do, then you can start some of your crouch offense, right? Down 4, I mean, down 3 is also pretty solid. Very good low. Big fan of this. And then the last low that I'm going to mention, that's not in like a stance, is forward 4-3. This low is super juiced. The reason why forward 4-3 is so strong is because if you're running at someone, you have access to forward 4-3, or you have access to running 3, right? I kind of hate that they're on the same button. It really pisses me off. Because sometimes I'll get running 3 when I want forward 4-3. Sometimes I'll get forward 4-3 when I want running 3. It really sucks. But they're both pretty strong. This, on block, I believe it's punishable. But on hit, it leads to a pretty sick mix-up, right? You're in the low stance, and you're at +6. So you can pretty much do whatever you want to your opponent. And it's a gamble. It's a guessing situation. It's real lottery hours, right? But you have a safe option in that lottery. You have the 1+2, which does chip damage. Now, I can show you all those lows on block real quick. The lows that I mentioned, once again, I guess I'll bring them back out, is Sidestep 4. What the hell? Oh, I have the wrong thing on. I'm bad at this. Not in stance, of course. Sidestep 4, so -13. Forward 4-3, -13. If you hold back, you immediately don't go into stance or whatever, I think? No, you don't go into stance if they block. That's pretty cool. Down Down back 3, which is minus 14. Some characters can actually launch this. There's a few. But generally, it's not going to be a launch button. This is an extremely strong low. And then down forward 3. Also minus 13, and then down 4. Down 4 is minus 14. I'm sorry, down 3 is minus 14. Down 4 is minus 13. Down forward 4. The last low I mentioned, I like a lot of lows with Eddy, which is strange. Not something that I'm used to saying. A lot of characters that I've played don't really have super solid lows, but Eddy does. This one as well. A little less good, right? But it's solid enough. It's not bad. I'm a big fan of it. Really only useful on counter hit, the down 4-3. I guess a last note on moves that I used outside of stance before I get into like pressure sequences and punishment is full crouch down forward 3. I actually really like this move. I use full crouch down forward 3 a lot. It's plus on block, puts you into relax, so you can like get chip sequences. You could cancel out and then go for other pressure. You could even dash while you're in it. I was trying to cancel that. Yeah, you can dash out and go for other pressure. And I think it's just a really solid, what up, Plenty? I think it's just a really solid mid-range check, right? Like, this actually goes really far, and it's plus and puts you into stance. So it's another one of those lottery situations, another one of those casino mix-ups. But I'm a fan of that. I'm okay with that. I know that I have to guess on my own offense. It's just something that I've gotten accustomed to, getting Eddy to purple rank. Let's start with block punishment. Block punishment, I think his 1-2 is pretty good. 1-3 is also good. I believe this is natural hit. Let me double check it. Yeah, 1-3 is natural hit and puts you into relax, which is good, right? And you're plus 7, which is really solid, right? You're plus 7 here, which means that you can go for a mix-up. Again, another lottery situation, and you get it off of a very good punish. Like, 1-3 is a good damage punish, it's 21 damage, and then you're also tacking on additional damage by potentially adding in a mix-up after. Another good punish is 2-3. 2-3 is also good. This, instead of being 10, it's 12 frames. And it puts you into handstand, which generally doesn't lead to anything unless you already have one stock. If you have one stock, this is also a lottery situation, because you have the mid and you have the low. But if you don't have that, all it does is it leads to a situation where your opponent has to choose if they want to swing or not. Because if they want to swing, you have armor. So I guess it's another reverse mix-up. And if they don't want to swing and they want to block, you have a plus on block transition. Let me show you. You have a plus on block transition into relax. Plus 5. That's a handstand 1. So when it comes to the flowchart of Eddy, I'm a big fan of, after getting a punish, I go for plus on block situations with a mid, or safe on block situations that lead to chip. I use a lot of the mids. I condition them up with the mids, make them just scared of standing there, and then once we make them fear the mid enough that they stand and they stay standing so they don't get knocked down, we can then start conditioning them and hit them with the low. Oh, I did that wrong. And hit them with the low, but of course the bot is going to block it. Good whip punishes with Eddy. If I'm honest, it's just this. This move is cracked. This move is such a good whip punish. Like, the range that you can get this from, pretty solid. This is down forward 3. And I'm also a fan of, from longer ranges, down back 4-4. Those are generally the only whip punches I use. I liked a forward 2-3 for a while, or 4-2-4, because I think it's guaranteed on normal hit. Oh, it's not. I don't know why I like this as a whip punish. I haven't used it. If you go back and you watch the stream from where I got purple, I didn't use this shit at all. I completely stopped fucking using it. I don't think it's very good. I also don't think this move is very good. It is a whip punish, though. You can back 2 as a whip punish, back 2-4. But generally, if I'm trying to whip punish something, you'll see me just go for this. Full combo. May as well go for combo town, no reason not to. Oh god, I dropped it. I'm ass. I think because people keep pressing buttons on the 4, yeah, that happens a lot. Same with this. Like, this isn't a good whip punish. It only heat engages on counter hit. It's second hit only or a counter hit. so I'm not a super big fan of it. But something that will get you into heat guaranteed. I want to show you 2 guaranteed setups to get into heat. You can also just do it raw with crouch throw. And I'm people, real nigga. So, on counter hit, you can down 4-3, which I think I've already showed off, into heat engage if you want. With the crouch 1+3 throw. Or, you can also forward 3 into low stance 4-3. I don't know why it's not giving me what I'm doing. And now you're in heat. So those are the 2 main ways that I've gotten into heat. I actually really enjoy not using the heat stance. I just send it. I just do this, and then I do the low throw if it hits. I don't really worry about heat specifically, most of the time. If I'm going into heat, it's off of just actually armoring something with this, or his armor move, which is, I think his generic armor is 1+, yeah. Back 3+4, and it's a high, it's safe on block, and it's pretty long reaching. Pretty long reaching, but it is extremely whip punishable as well. I don't use a lot of this move. I hear it's pretty solid, but I've never really found a use for 1+4. I mean, sorry, for 4 3+4. I haven't really found a use for it. It's -9. It's a heat engager. It does chip damage. I could see how it's pretty solid, but I don't really use it too often. So, to go over simply the things I use a lot in neutral with Eddy, I like jab. I like up 1+2 as a way to... Hello, thank you. I like up 1+2. I like jab as my highs. In crouch, I'm a big fan of down 4-3. This is the mix-up for it, which is down forward 4, but it's pretty unsafe. I never use it. I just use this because it's plus on block. I like sidestep 3, sidestep 4, forward 3, running 3. Oops, if I could do it. Down 4, and then hit confirm down 3-4. I mean, down 4-3 is not hit confirmable. I think you actually just have to commit. Comeback 3, down forward 3, and down forward 1. Back 2 is probably alright. I didn't mention it. Honorable mention to back 3. And like the neutral section, I mentioned it as like potentially a whip punish. But back 2 is pretty good. Like it's -8, and there's a mix-up off of it. Like you have the high, and then you have a mid that's unsafe. That you can actually just do the third hit of to be even more unsafe, but if they press, a lot of times they end up getting hit because they didn't press jab. I don't even know if you can actually jab through this string. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've tried to hit Eddy for doing that because I know they want to do the third hit, and I've been smoked. So, yeah, these are the basic moves that I like to use with Eddy. This is how I got Eddy to purple rank. I think that he's a pretty solid character when you want to play solid, but he can also play like a shithead. He's got that Yoshimitsu syndrome. I think his stance is really cool, or not his stance, his gimmick is really cool. But I do think it's kind of unfortunate that you have to get into it raw for it to be worth a fuck, right? You have to, like, open people up raw with mids or with the low there for it to be worth it, because otherwise, you've already gotten so much damage that there's no point in even being in the stance. That even getting access to these moves late in the game doesn't feel as impactful because you already have them super close to death and low, where you can just poke them out with your small pokes and don't have to go for something as risky. Let's actually see what these are on block. I'm gonna be honest with you, no one's fucking blocked these moves. I have no idea what they are on block. -13, and I assume +6? Damn, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, +6 and -13 on block. No one ever blocked them. They never fucking guessed right when I did them, so I just used them a lot. It didn't matter. I might even show you guys the Lars player that I fought against to make it to Mighty Ruler, who I just mashed those moves on once I got them. They are very overtuned. They're really strong, but they only feel as powerful as you can get them early in the game. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this like quick, maybe not as comprehensive guide as I did for Raven, for Eddy, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if there's another character you guys want me to potentially touch on that I play. I plan on getting Eddy to the same rank that I have Raven at, and then moving on to another character. Lily, Leo, or Leroy. Those are the choices. I don't really feel like playing anybody else. There's a lot of cool characters in this game, and I don't fault anyone for liking them, but these are the characters that I've liked the most so far. Tell me who your favorite characters in Tekken 8 are in the comments as well. Don't just Don't just tell me that the guide sucked or the guide was good. You know, create real engaging conversation with the community. And with that, I've been Beanie Thuggish, talking about what I used to get to purple ranks with Eddy Gordo in Tekken 8, signing out and saying, peace. Like the video, like the video, like the video. I heard that if you say like the video, the little thing at the bottom actually lights up. I don't think it does though. Like the video, subscribe. Bye.